Hey, the Nest. This is Joy Johnson coming to you from New Jersey. And today we're here to talk about how to pocket your BAH, which stands for your basic allowance for housing. So, the beauty of our BAH is that it's not taxable. So, that's something you can completely pocket. And then it's in addition to your basic allowance that you get as your paycheck. So, just imagine that you get to keep both. So you get your basic paycheck, and then you also get your BAH and your food. So typically your food comes out, depending on what rank you are, that's like $200 something for officers typically, and then for enlisted is way more than that. But our BAH depends on if we have dependents or not. But depending on what you want out of your living situation, say for instance you're single, or maybe you're not single, maybe it's your joint spouse with a fellow service member, this is an amazing option to save both of your BAHs by buying a property, living in one unit, and renting out the rest. So buying a multifamily property that has at least a duplex, triplex, or a quadplex. So really simple process. It is the exact same process as buying a single family home, only the ending piece of it is that you now have tenants. So this is not for everyone. If you do not want to do the whole landlord thing, this is definitely for someone who is okay with being a landlord, because you will be an owner and you will have tenants. So quickly, I'm gonna go over some basic steps to how to pocket your BAH. First step, one is to get a pre-approval from a bank. So I talked about this in my last video, and so go over to how to use your VA loan to get more details on that. But get the pre-approval from the bank. Then you find a real estate agent. The real estate agent, give him or her all the parameters that you want. So for instance, if you want, once again, if you want a duplex, triplex, or quadplex, tell them. If you want all of it, tell them that. So for me, when I did my search for New Jersey, I did all of them. I looked at all of them, but some of the things you want to look out for, which eliminated me getting the duplex versus a triplex. So if I would have got a duplex, I'm scared of the fact that it's vacancy. So if that unit goes vacant, you're left to pay all the bills. You're left to pay the utilities, the mortgage, and everything associated with that house by yourself. And then with a triplex typically, even though they are multifamily, so one step above a duplex and one step below a quadplex, they're most of the time built weird. So the ones I ran into always had like a weird situation, that it was a duplex and they got a shed in the back, or they have septic tanks. It's just they were meant to only be probably a duplex, or it was a single family home converted, and it's just not set up for 3 whole families to be in there. So that's probably my biggest problem with duplexes. Just functionally, doesn't fit right. And last, I would say quadplex. Most of the time, if it's a quadplex, it was built to be a quadplex, because requiring that much space in that house, and functionally it just most of the time works out with the 2 units instead of 3. So keeping that in mind, that when you check these places out, either the duplex, the triplex, or the quadplex, that they do have their differences. For me, I care about security. So quadplex gives me security that if one decides to move out and I might have a vacancy, then I at least have 2 other renters. That's actually my exact situation right now, that one moved out, I have 2 renting, and I'm still secure, and that the entire mortgage is not on me. So that is the biggest factor for me, and why I chose a 4plex over anything else. And plus, it's multiple and more incomes coming in. That is the goal, is to have as many incomes coming in. And why get one income when you can have 4? So next up is to hire a real estate agent. When you do, give them all your parameters, such as, are you looking for a duplex, triplex, or quadplex, or all? Give them those. What area, what type of area are you looking, what's your market? What kind of tenants are you seeking out? For me, I look for areas that are close to military bases, so that way I can rent to military tenants. That's my focus. That's my niche. So yours could be maybe downtown singles. So you want to put a location downtown and singles rent there. Or you want to get close to hospitals and you want to rent your place out to traveling nurses and doctors who are there temporarily. Or maybe near the airport, so rent your place out to traveling flight attendants. Whatever the case may be, there's so many options out there, and you just have to decide what is your niche. So once you have all that information, give it to the real estate agent, and they will find the perfect location with you. Some things to look out for when you actually start doing the house shopping, when you're going to look. One, are the utilities separate or are separated already, or do you have to pay for everything as the landlord? So for my current unit, I only have to pay the water for the entire building. Electrical is separate, the heating is separate, and that makes the biggest difference because those are the ones that fluctuate the most based on the season. So you don't want to be stuck with that bill. And if they don't pay the bill, their electricity gets cut off, and it's not your problem per se. It is their responsibility to pay you all the bills, and it's not dependent on you. But keep in mind, because you are a landlord of a building, there will be bills for you as well. I'll go in it a little bit more deep in another video, but specifically for kind of landlord chronicles. But you will at least have electric bill for the hallway. That's your responsibility. You'll have to do fire alarm inspections. You'll have city inspections. You'll have state inspections. And these are all your responsibilities. So keep that in mind. Another thing, when you're looking for properties, look at if it's occupied or not. So when you buy a place, you take on everything with it. So that includes the tenants that are there. You can't break their lease before their lease is up. So one, you have to find out how long is their lease, how long they've been there. Are these lifers? Is there an open unit? Because remember, it has to be owner occupied. So if it's a full house and all the tenants been there over 10 years and don't plan on moving, you're gonna have to kick somebody out. Do you want that responsibility? I know I didn't. I ran into 2 4 units that had tenants in there that was just hoarders. It was a complete disaster. I started just thinking about what I'll have to do to fix it up, and that alone deterred me. And these tenants were in there looked like they were going to be a lifetime. They were all friends, so just imagine going in there in that situation and having to kick somebody out just so you can move in. Next thing to look at would be, how old is the house? Why does that matter? The infrastructure matters. So for houses built after a certain time may have old electricity, like knob and tube. Why does that matter? As far as updating it, it's going to be expensive. If you touch one piece of it, you have to update the entire house. So if it's knob and tube, most have 2 prongs versus 3 prong, which most of our cords and plugs and everything that we use today have 3 prongs on it. So you have to buy adapters. Currently dealing with that right now because my house was built in 1847, but it's a historic home, so that's why I went with the house I have right now. But I am dealing with knob and tubing. Other things to look for is, when was the roof last updated? When was the water heater last replaced? Just look at all the infrastructure. Look at the basement. Are there leaks? Are there known mold issues? Figure out what is the known issues, such as pest. You can see that very quickly. They can't hide rat poops, or they can't hide mold stains. That stuff all comes out, whether it's painted or not. It comes through. if there is an issue. So just give it the time. No need to make go on quick decisions. And do the due diligence with the inspection team. You have to get a home inspection with any VA loan. So listen to it. If there's anything in there that the seller can fix, have them fix it ASAP. I don't care how small it is, have them fix it before it becomes your problem and add it on. So think about that. Once you look at the house, you fall in love, you buy the house. Takes about a 45-day process. The next big step is to start reading up on the state regulations for tenant and landlords. Develop your lease. Hire a property manager if you choose to. I personally have not hired a property manager yet, and I have 2 properties. I've done it all by myself, and I'll have a video for that as to why I choose to do property management myself. But your choice, totally. You're the owner. That's the beauty of it. You get to do what you want. And so once you have that together, you are pocketing your BAH. So as a captain right now in New Jersey, I'm bringing about $7 grand after taxes with my BAS, BAH, base pay, $7 grand pocketing. My mortgage, I just actually refinanced my mortgage, and so my payments are $21.85. I'm bringing in over $2,600 with me living here. I'm bringing in over $2,600, and when I move out, because I actually am getting deployed pretty soon, so once I move out, I'm gonna rent out this place for about $850. So that'll be additional $850 that I will make in profit. So this is a very profitable option as like a side hustle, as something you want to do long term if you choose to do it. It's something that you can keep while you're in the military. When you get out the military, if you're reserves, you can do this as well. And just use this to your advantage because it's an amazing tool. But have at it. That is how you pocket your BAH. And yeah, so don't forget to subscribe. Push that little button below and look out for new videos. Okay, till next time.